Mathematics is easy if we put our hearts and minds into it. Hello kids! Teacher Ward is here to join you in exploring the amazing world of mathematics. Get ready with your paper and pen as we begin our journey. Are you ready for more wonderful discoveries about mathematics? Listen carefully and do our activities. After this lesson, you will be able to do multiplication of fractions. Before starting our journey, let's exercise our minds with our math tryout. Welcome to our math tryout. I will be showing you the problem and you solve it. Then the options will follow. Just write the letter of the correct answer. You will have 30 seconds to answer each question. Remember, your answer should be in the simplest form of the fraction. Number 1. Multiply 2/4 and 2/3. A. 3/12. B. 2/7. C. 1/2. D. 1/3. The correct answer is D. 1/3. Number 2. Multiply 2 and 4/7 by 5 and 1/6. A. 13 and 2/7. B. 12 and 5/7. C. 13 and 1/7. D. 16 and 2/7. Time is up. If you answered A, you're correct. Number 3. London found 5/8 liter of paint in their house. He used 3/4 of it for his pots. What fraction of paint was used? A. 15 and 32 liter. B. 1 and 32 liter. C. 10 and 37 liter. And D. 3 and 32 liter. Time is up. The correct answer is letter A. What is your score? Did you get a perfect score? If yes, good job. If no, don't worry. We will deepen your understanding so you can get a higher score at the end of this episode. Let's look at this word problem. Aliminda buys and sells mangoes for a living. One afternoon, she went to the market and saw 4.5 kilograms of mangoes in a crate. Aliminda bought 3/4 of them. How many kilograms did she buy? How do you feel when you see a math problem? What should you do to answer it? Yes, follow the steps in solving the word problem. What are the steps in solving word problems? Those are understand, plan, solve, check, and look back. To understand the problem, we must identify what is asked in it. What is asked in the problem? The kilograms of mangoes she bought. Next, we must identify the given facts. What are the given facts? 4 1/4 kilograms of mangoes and 3/4 of them. After understanding the problem, we must now make a plan on how to solve it. In planning, we must decide what we should do to the problem. In this type of problem, we must know the operation we should use. So, what operation we should use to solve the problem? Let's look at this problem again. It says here that Aling Minda bought 3/4 of them. It means she bought 3/4 of 4 1/2 kilograms of mangoes. Now, I want you to remember that if we want to solve a part of something, we must use multiplication. So, the operation that we will be using for this problem is multiplication. In planning, we must also write down the number sentence. What is the number sentence? 3/4 times 4 1/2 equals n. Now, let's solve. Follow the steps in multiplying fractions. Step 1. Change the mixed number to an improper fraction. Multiply the denominator by the whole number. Then, add the numerator. That will be the new numerator. Then, copy the denominator. Step 2. Multiply the numerator of the first fraction by the numerator of the second fraction. That is, 3 multiplied by 9 is 27. That will be the new numerator. Step 3. Multiply the denominator of the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. That will be the new denominator. So, 3/4 times 4 1/2 is equals to 27/8. Since the answer is an improper fraction, we must change it into a proper fraction. To do it, divide the numerator by the denominator. So, 27 divided by 8 is 3, remainder 3. The quotient will be the whole number and the remainder will be the new numerator. The denominator will still be the same, so just copy 8. Change the fraction to the simplest form if possible. Since it is already in the simplest form, that will be the answer. Now we know the answer. We have to check if it is correct. One way to check it is to look back at the steps on how you solved the problem. Let's review our solution. Now, we are confident that we came up with the correct answer. Let's look at another word problem. Aling Minda needs to sell her mangoes. There are 4 1/3 kilograms of mangoes in the crate and 1 1/6 kilograms on the weighing scale. How much will she earn if each kilogram costs 60 pesos? To solve this problem, first, you need to understand it. What is the first step to understanding the problem? Correct! First, we need to know what is asked. So what is asked in the problem? The amount you will earn if each kilo of mangoes is sold for 60 pesos. What is the second step? Yes, you're correct. We need to identify facts. So what are the given facts? 4 1/3 kilograms of mangoes in the crate, 1 1/6 kilograms of mangoes mangoes on the weighing scale, and 60 pesos per kilogram. After we understood the problem, we are now ready to make a plan on how to solve it. What is the first step in planning? What operation should we use? To know the total amount that you will earn, first, we need to add the weights of the mangoes. Then, we multiply the sum with 60 pesos. So, the operations that we will be using are addition and multiplication. First, we need to add the weight of the mangoes. Then, multiply the sum by 60. It will look like this. Now, it's time to solve. 4 1/3 plus 1 1/6 times 60 equals m. Let's do the addition first. Add the whole numbers. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Step 2. Determine the LCD of the fractions. To find the LCD of the fractions, let's get the multiples of the denominators 3 and 6. Let's get the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. Now let's find the multiples of 6. 6, 12, and 18. The LCD is 6. Now let's get the equivalent fractions. It will now look like this. 2 6 plus 1 6. Let's now add the new fractions. 2 6 plus 1 6 equals 3 6. Reduce the fraction to the lowest term. To do this, find the greatest common factor, or GCF, of 3 and 6. Factors of 3 are 1 and 3, while the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And the greatest common factor is 3. So divide both numerator and denominator by 3. So 5 and 3/6 will become 5 1/2. Our new number sentence will look like this. 5 1/2 times 60 equals m. To solve this, convert the mixed number and the whole number to improper fractions. Multiply the whole number by the denominator, then add the numerator. That will be the new numerator. The denominator will not change. That will be 11 halves, while the whole numbers have 1 as its denominator. So, our fractions will look like this. 11 halves times 6 1. Multiply the numerator by the other numerator, then multiply also the denominator by the other denominator. But we can simplify it to make our numbers smaller. Let's look at our fractions. 11 halves times 6 1. You can look for the GCF of the numerator and the denominator. Do 11 and 2 have GCF except 1? No. How about 60 and 1? No. How about 60 and 2? Yes. What is the GCF of 60 and 2? Correct. It is 2. So we can divide both numbers by 2. Our fractions will now look like this. 11 1 times 31 equals m. So multiply the numerator by the other numerator. That will be 330. Multiply the denominator by the other denominator. That will be 1. If you have 1 as the denominator, it means it is a whole number. So, the answer is 330 pesos. Let us now check our answer. The total kilograms of mangoes is 5 1/2, right? So the whole number is 5. 5 times 60 is 300. There is another half kilogram which will cost half of 60. So 60 divided 2 is 30. Now 300 plus 30 is equal to 330. It means our answer is correct. Here's a quick sample of multiplying fractions. 3/5 times 15 and 21st. 3 and 21 have the GCF of 3, so divide both by 3. While 5 and 15 have GCF of 5, so divide both by 5. Our new fractions will be 1/1 times 3/7. Multiply the numerators and the denominators. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 7 is 7. The answer is 3/7. I hope you were able to follow and understand our discussion. Now, it's time for you to put your skill to the test. Now, let's practice. Get ready with your paper and pen and write your answer on your paper. Let's solve this problem step by step. What is asked? The parts of the liter of paint he used for his chair. What are the given facts? 3/4 liter of paint and 2/5 of it. What operation should be used? Multiplication. What is the number sentence? 2/5 times 3/4 equals n. If you wrote 3/4 times 2/5 equals n, that is okay, because we will still get the same answer. Commutative property of multiplication states that even if you rearrange the multiplicand and multiplier, the answer will still be the same. 3/4 times 2/5. Simplify 2 and 4. We simplify first to avoid working with bigger numbers. So, our new fractions will look like this. 3/2 times 1/5. So 3 times 1 equals 3, 2 times 5 equals 10. So he used 3/10 of a liter of the paint. So you can review your solution if you use the multiplication correctly. I think you're getting used to multiplying fractions. Let's do more to get better. Marianne bought 5 1/4 meters of cloth at 30 pesos each meter. How much change did she receive from her 300 pesos? What is asked? The change she received from her 300 pesos. What are the given facts? 5 1/4 meters of cloth, 30 pesos per meter, and 300 pesos payment. What operations should we use? Multiplication and subtraction. And what is the number sentence? 300 minus 5 1/4 times 30 equals n. First, we need to multiply 5 1/4 times 30. Change the mixed number into an improper fraction. Then change the whole number into fraction. So we now have 300 minus 21/4 times 30 1 equals n. Then we multiply. Then we simplify to avoid working with bigger numbers. 30 divided 4 is 7 1/2 or 7.5. Next, we multiply 21 times 7.5. That will be 157.5. We need to subtract the total amount of cloth from her money. So that is 300 minus 157.5 equals 142.5. Don't forget to put peso sign when talking about money. Were you able to answer it correctly? I'm sure you did. Because we are done with the discussion, let us sum up the things that we have learned. Remember the 4 steps in solving word problems. First, understand the problem. You need to know what is asked and the given facts. Second, decide what operation you should use and write the number sentence. Third, solve. Solve the number sentence that we have written. To avoid working with bigger numbers, we can simplify the fractions first. And last, check. Review your answer if your computations are correct. Don't forget to put peso sign if you're working with money. As we end our episode, we need to know if you were able to understand our lesson. Let us now have a short quiz. Now, let's check your answer. Number 1, 4 twelfths times 2 eighths equals 1/12, letter C. Number 2, 1 and 4 fifths multiplied by 4 is 7 and 1/5, letter A. Number 3, Samantha bought 1 and 1/4 kilograms of chicken. She cooked 1/2 of it. What fraction part of the chicken did she cook? The answer is letter B, 5/8 kilogram. So, how many correct answers did you get? I hope you got them all correctly. For your assignment, copy the questions in your notebook and answer them. Don't forget to express your answer in the simplest form. Congratulations, kids! You were able to finish the tasks in our lesson. If you have questions, you may ask the assistance of your teacher. Thank you so much for listening and participating. This is Teacher Warley saying mathematics is easy if we put our hearts and minds into it. See you again in our next lesson on our Puerto Princesa Dream TV.